Hey Aquarius, how you doing? Hope everybody doing all right. So Aquarius, I'm coming with your January 2025 reading. All right. So what I did, go look, and I'm doing astrology a little bit and pulling some tarot cards. I got some of the things laid out. Some of them I don't. So we'll start with January the 1st. I'm going to go through, use the houses to kind of be my direction, right? So, I'm going to start this off. I'm going to pull 2 oracle cards to kind of represent. One oracle card can represent the ascendant and the descendant energy, which is the first house and the 7th house. And then I'm going to pull another oracle card to represent the midhaven and the IC, which is the 4th and the 10th house. Okay? And from there, we're going to let that shadow messages come through. But that's how we're going to tip it off, okay? So, hey, universe, I'm here for Aquarius. January 2025. Astrology General Energy Reading. Can I have one card prepared for the connection of the ascendant and descendant? The first house is in the Taurus zodiac constellation. And the 7th house is in the Scorpio constellation. And then when it comes to the IC is in Cancer, okay, and the midhaven is in Capricorn. All right. So now I have 2 cards prepared. Okay, now I also have 1 card come out at a time. So here we go, Aquarius. Let's get into it. I have 1 oracle card to represent the ascendant and the descendant for Aquarius general energy reading. 1 oracle card for the ascendant and the descendant for Aquarius. I had them upside down. I needed to turn them around. Alright, ready to reconvene. I have the first oracle card for the ascendant and descendant in the Aquarius general energy reading. Aquarius general energy reading. I'm sorry, I want to put out my incense. Alright. 1 oracle card. Aquarius general energy reading. Ascendant and the descendant connection. Thank you. May I have 1 oracle card for the midhaven and the IC in Aquarius general astrology reading. 1 oracle card. Alright, I like the fact. Came flipped out. Landed face down. Alright. So, we have the lavender moon. And that's it for this one. I'm going to read a little bit, right? So, let me look for a lavender moon. Lavender moon 113. Okay, so here we go. Let me read some of this. Alright. Me and my nails. And this is my short nail hand. Alright. Lavender moon. It's hard to journey through life without learning it quite a bit. Facts and such are one thing, but spiritual truth, life philosophies, and general ethics, well, they are another. By nature, seekers search for answers and truth. We seek a closer relationship with the divine. We are always looking for something. There, there does come a point, though, when we have so much information, we have read so many books and heard so many opinions that we have to turn away from knowledge and sit through what we've gathered. Away from the opinions and judgment of others in one place where we feel safe and at ease, and we need to examine each idea and belief and practice and measure it against our own soul. Those that resonate and feel right will keep and synchronize into our belief systems. Those that do not, we respectfully put away from us. Now, everything is for everybody. We all have our own unique path, and it is up to us to find it. The lavender moon fairy is doing her own seeking, surrounded by shades of purple. She's prepared for spiritual work. She incorporates the power of the full moon because she desires illumination. She wants her path to be revealed. The moths around her symbolize transformation and a desire for light. She herself is going through a transformation, and her final step is deciding her path and determining what is right for her. She calmly and reverently asks for guidance as she begins inward in her journey. So now when we talking about the ascendant is of course the first house. Alright. So we have this first house. Now how can this go? And this could be many ways for Aquarius, meaning that within the reason why your first house is Aquarius, right? A lot of people say sometimes that's the way the public look at you. That's the way they could come at you. There's many different reasons. But let's check it out from Taurus. Right? So Uranus is in retrograde still on 1/1/25, January the 1st of 2025. And the thing is Jupiter that's also there in Gemini. So, and that's retrograde. So the fact that Gemini comes after Taurus, but the planets is appearing to be retrograde, really most likely for you, Aquarius, you're going to really feel the Cancer impact more than you're going to feel the first house as being reflected as Taurus. You probably feel more of the fourth house effect. It's going to be a little flip-floppy when it comes to you in this. The flow of the energy going to be a little bit different. So when we're dealing with also houses and constellations, right? We know that in this house system, the reciprocal one is always 6 spaces, or you could say 5 spots in between. 1 plus 5 going to give you the 6th spot. Whatever way you want to look at it, meaning that the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th, and the 6th house is actually in between your ascendant and your descendant. Now, what's in the middle of that is your IC. So IC has a little bit of the dark side to it. So right now, Aquarius is like, as Aquarius, what are you feeling? How does the world affect you when you hear new age coming around and this the year of Aquarius? Do those vibrational sound bites just do something? Do it prompt some thought, or do it make you feel like, yo, I'm tired of hearing these old heads. I'm tired of hearing this point. So the exhaustion that the moon going to bring, that this what we call it, the lavender moon, ain't that it? And I got lost in trance. Yeah, the lavender moon. Okay, with the lavender moon being here. Now, On the flip side, right, I was also talking, so this partners has Scorpio, which is already talking about the transformation. So now this is everything that you have collected. I think that you're going to have the things that you have collected from the family that you associate with now. The family members going to be a little bit more stable in this situation here. I think what you're going to experience the most of the rockiness when it comes to the sixth house partnership is going to be your living environment. Somewhere within your living environment, the area that you're going to be in is going to transform. So it's like you're going to experience the lavender moon transformation in the beginning of the year from the outside environment. For example, say, not saying it will happen or won't happen, but this is the kind of stuff that do happen. Say, for instance, that in your neighborhood, wherever you stay at, there was three transformers went down. And when these three transformers went down, you're in a neighborhood that also have solar panels. So somehow or another, this project with the solar panels and everything, I'm about to put a whole inconvenience in your whole environment right now, right? That's how the seventh house partnership energy going to be. It's going to be, the energy is like working through you to the outside of you. Now, what is these things going to count for? Well, it's going to make a difference with your attitude when we go back to the first house. It's going to make a difference of your future plans when it comes to the first house. Now, the thing about this making a difference in your future plans, I feel like it's going to be something that's going to come back 10 years from now. I think this is the beginning of a 10-year cycle when I see it for you, Aquarius. So within a 10-year period of time, right, this situation going to have a very impact. Your attitude that you put inside of it going to be something that synchronized with inside of you. That's going to make a difference of the comfortability of how you engage with your family, your closest people to you. You have a very family-oriented type of situation going on, whether it's by blood or not by blood. Okay. So, now, the second house really don't have too much of anything going on up inside of there, right? The third house has Cancer. But see, this is the thing. Cancer is also in the fourth house, which is the IC, which we're about to get to now. But before, no, I do it after since I already went this far. Okay. So the card that comes between the IC and the Midhaven is the Enchanted Princess. So let's look up the the Emerald Princess. I'm trying not to have my glasses on. I guess I need my glasses when I'm going to do it like this. Oh, man. Number 67. So we got another 13 up in there. So you got a lot of transformation. The first one was on page 113. And the one was more individual when you come to the first house. Now you have a 6 and a 7. Okay. And we already talked about the 7th house already, which is normally ruled by Libra. Oh, hold on. That's supposed to be looking. I see so many images coming up with this. Like, the Emerald Princess is more or less what this. I think this is what Cancer going to really get you at, right? Because, Aquarius, you have a way to engage and navigate through social media. You know how to scroll, and you have access to a lot of platforms, a lot of friends, that follow you and stuff like that. And it seemed like your social media energy is going to ramp you up to go into a perplexed mood of acting like you know everything. And I don't know yet whether that's good or bad, but let me get back on track to read the Emerald Princess. But that is definitely part of what I see right now. Where did I go? I'm trying to find 67. I already looked it up. I just stopped looking at the page numbers. Okay, here we go. Alright, we got the Emerald Princess. Even the shyest and the quietest among us at times felt a deep stirring in our souls to speak out. So yeah, there I go. I said you was going to have some things that go on and go down on social media. To rock the boat, to create a ruckus, to try to change something. See, there I go. There are times when some rule, or some policy doesn't seem right or fair. It might be a minor irritation, like something telling you that you cannot bring the beverage in here. Or it could be a larger issue, like a rule that unfairly hurts someone. Some rules may be irritating and annoying, but they serve a purpose and are not worth flaunting. But then there are those situations that demand your attention. An animal being mistreated, a rule that is unfair, someone being hurt. Even though it may be easier to ignore the situation, something inside you urges you on. You find within yourself the bravery needed to fight the cause. The Emerald Princess seemed almost invisible, blending into her environment so perfect she nearly disappears. Her long black trussels swirl and mingle with the seaweed that adorns her watery world. She is wrapped up in a long cord beaded with jewels. Each jewel is a bit of wisdom. She is posed near a crescent shape, which reminds us that, like the moon during that phase, she is mostly hidden. She just stayed quietly, moving gently with the flow, silently observing and gathering bits of wisdom for her cord. But when it's necessary, she stirs. Water, her natural environment, and often represents the soul. When she stirs, something similar stirs in us, in our soul. It awakens us to the need for defiance. Yes, this nearly invisible, quiet little beauty has the power to start a revolution. There's something going on that doesn't seem right to you. You are feeling perhaps uncharacteristically. The need to flaunt authority, to raise your voice, and to stand up for yourself or someone else. Check the impulse. If it is something that fundamentally immature or reckless, consider letting it slide. However, and probably more likely, it is something more. Now it's time to be bold and speak up. If your moral, spiritual, or ethical beliefs compel you to defy something you don't, you may regret it later. And who knows, your boldness could very well spark beneficial change in your life or even the world. So, that's where, when I utilize the message, because Cancer is also in the third house. It's not just in the fourth house, which is roots. Okay? So we all commonly know that IC is at the fourth house, right? So is your roots. What's coming up? That's why I say you have a way of navigating through. I think your social media platform, I'm not saying you don't know how to talk to people, because I feel like you FaceTime people. You do a whole lot. You're very active. For a majority of these Aquariuses that I'm talking to, I'm about to say Cancer because it's the energy. So I'm into the I feel of it, right? Now, in this situation though, right, you have Mars that's retrograde. So the silent person that's in this part of it where they say she blend in and very quiet with it is going to be Mars. The Mars retrograde is not going to affect you like talking about. So you're going to feel a little bit more comfortable, but you're not going to be feeling comfortable because the people around you is getting more affected by it. So the shadow card for those two oracle cards right there is the Autumn Splendor. Look at there. That is so beautiful. So, now, Leo is in the 5th house and Virgo is in the 6th house. And the thing about Virgo being in the 6th house, Lilith in the vertex on January the 1st is also still there in the 6th house, but they have Libra as their constellation energy. They don't have Virgo for their constellation. They have Libra. So you're talking about next door neighbors, and you're still talking about something that's going to move you forward. It's going to be more of a jump in time. So let me pull some cards out for this section. This is where I feel I need to pull cards out for you, Aquarius, okay? Alright. For this 6th house energy of routine, how will that Libra constellation with Lilith in the vertex affect Aquarius in the beginning half of January of 2025? May I have 3 cards? Alright, let's get your 3 card message here. We have 1, 2, and 1 more to go. And there we go. So the second one came out face down. But the shadow card here to the situation is the 10 of Pentacles. So this is the shadow card. Now, also, I already didn't say a transformation happening in your environment. So that could be part of it. Especially what we have in 5 of Cups. That's the first card. So it seemed like a lot of pressure coming into the beginning of the year for you, Aquarius. Your environment is going to impact you with a lot of pressure, a lot of choices, and a lot of options. Let's see what this card is together. Oh, we got the Ace of Pentacles. And we had an Ace of Swords. So there go your pressure. Now the pressure, I think you're going to really get challenged real hard with your faith with this. With just examining your positivity. Let me say it that way. I think your positivity is really going to get challenged here. How deep or how much, I think this is where the Emerald Princess, where it says your uncharacteristics might come out. Because maybe some people don't see it that often, or maybe people don't like that side. Or maybe you suppress that side to be a people pleaser, because I see some of y'all people pleasing. Some of y'all going to be very excessive with the pressure coming out of this time frame. Probably more closer to when the moon is full in January too. So during that full moon in January, a lot of y'all going to really have more attitudes. Some of y'all really are going to have some attitudes that comes outward. It's going to feel like y'all have something that must be meant to stand up for. No matter what. Okay. And that Lilith energy going to be the thing that bring it down through your 6th house. So whatever your daily routine is where it's going to go. So it's not something that you could avoid. Your routine that you do every day, from brushing your teeth to combing your hair to putting on your clothes. When you probably go look, you might not see your favorite underwear, your favorite t-shirt, your socks might be mismatched. Somebody might have misplaced your toothbrush. You didn't realize you was out of toothpaste. It's going to be these little things that begin to pile up during the full moon that makes things a little bit awkward for you. So then, of course, we already went through the 7th house being the descendant Scorpio. And now the 8th house is Sagittarius and Mercury. The 9th house is Capricorn, and it has Capricorn sun there. The 10th house has the midhaven, has Capricorn there, which it has the moon, Pluto, and both of them is in Aquarius. So at this point in time, that 10th house energy, when I was talking about the world going to be so important and so annoying for you, going to start getting thick around this time for you. That 10th house going to be somewhat annoying, but at the same time, I think with your witty and your cunning ways that Aquarius can have to get things done, I think at the same time, some of y'all Aquarius is going to have great influence over different people that's already close to you and new ones that come that help you get some things done that you didn't have to get your hands dirty with. So around this middle of the month, around this full moon, you're going to have some people that come to help your karma transform. Now, it sounds kind of harsh, but it's just the way things go. And, you know, some of them are your kindred spirits, and some of them meant to be in your life, and some of them just meant to help you out. So being that Cancer is in the 4th house and the 3rd house, which is messages, and being that Capricorn is in the 9th house, which is faith, right? Whatever you believe in and what you don't believe in, whether it's science, you know, I kind of look at this house sometimes as our educational background, our family, even though the roots have it. A lot of this is here too. So you're going to have some kindred spirits that come around. And these kindred spirits going to tip the scale one way or another for you to be beneficial. It's going to be beneficial for your future, and it's going to be beneficial for your now. And it's definitely coming from your past with Pluto being there with the moon. And during this time, in the beginning of the month, the new moon is in Aquarius. So at this present time, you probably start feeling, I mean, like I say, the first of the month might going to be a little bit. And then when it get to the full moon, then you're going to be like kind of feeling another kind of way. So your middle of the month is the most irritating part for you, Aquarius. Okay? So then we have Aquarius in 11th house, which you have the comfortability of being inside of your own house. Okay? You're in your own house, which is going to boost up all that you know, all that you want to talk about, all the points and the rights that make you feel like I can do what I want to do. And nobody can tell me anything different about what I want to do or how I want to do this. Who's going to tell me anything different about this? Especially when you have Venus and Saturn. And a lot of your decisions around this time, like at the beginning of the month, it probably won't be too bad. By the time the middle of the month comes, you just going to just tell in of your ass. Like, people just should have figured out already who the fuck you was and just shouldn't have never fucked around with the fuck around. Now, the 12th house is with Pisces, and it has the Chiron, and it has the North Node, and it has Neptune. Okay. So, by the time we get to the end of the month, alright, the first house is actually going to go to Gemini, and Taurus is going into the 12th house. Now, Aquarius, you're no longer in your home front. You're now in the 9th or 10th house. So what it looked like is everything rolled and shifted. And it shifted where you have the 9th and the 10th house. And Leo has the 3rd and the 4th house. So by the time the end of the month comes, you could be, depending on how you was during the full moon and how you interpret, you can have a little bit of problems with a lot of guilt and everything going on with this 9th and 10th house energy. Matter of fact, let me pull some cards. Because see, the sun is going to be in your sign, and Mercury and Pluto going to be in the 9th house. So let's get some cards for this 9th house real quick, okay? Let's get some cards for the 9th house. May I have 3 cards for the 9th house for Aquarius General Astrology reading by the January the 31st. Aquarius will be in the 9th house with the Sun, Mercury, and Pluto. Alright, got my 3 cards. What's our shadow card here? Oh, what is that, baby? Is that the Emperor? No, that's the Lovers I meant. Yes, it is. That's the contract. So, we had the 3 of Cups that came out first. So, it seemed like with... It seemed like around the 31st, okay? Like I said, the victory is going to be present. No matter what way you appear, I think it's supposed to be, especially with the High Priestess coming up here, the victory is going to be accomplished. Okay? Being that Leo is definitely going to be, which is the opposite of you, is going to be there. You also have the 6 of Cups. So you're talking about the need to rescue yourself or ponder out. Or once again, the results of the full moon is going to be prominent on the 31st. The results of the full moon are going to be prominent. Now the moon going to be in the 10th house with Saturn. So, with the moon being there in the 10th house with Saturn, once again, depending on how some of y'all go, some of y'all going to have legal issues that can ponder, but majority of y'all is going to have problems more on digital platforms. Like, some of the first things that go off before you can resolve or let you know you're going through the download or the checklist or the evaluation of your report card is going to be things like your printer might malfunction, your computer, your phone might malfunction. You might hand it off to a niece or a nephew, and one of them then open up an app that you didn't think they could sit there and figure out. It's going to be weird unlocking sequences within the tech world. It could even be with your ice maker if you have one on your refrigerator, right? Or your water supply that you might have, or whatever. It's just going to be weird. You probably experience your hot water tank could go out for a few hours and then come back. It's going to be glitches, but it's not going to be permanent glitches. But those glitches probably roll over into February. It can last most likely until Pisces time begin. But you're going to see a lot of glitches. And this is very important for you to kind of understand with the Lover's card. And I think the card underneath will probably explain it a little bit more. Let's see it together. The Four of Wands. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a lot of glitches. Your cell phone is part of you. Refrigerator is part of you. When you wash your tail with the hot water tank is part of you. Your car could have a weird moment. You might have to be careful before you go and invest into an auto part. Give it a few hours. Give it maybe 24 hours or a day. And see what your car come back and do. Well, we got the Ace of Cups. Right? Ace of Cups. So that's the creativity in it. Okay? Because it's nothing but an evaluation system. And there go the sword. Right there. The Knight of Swords. Okay? So, you're going to need to consider these things. They're not, I don't know if they really, all of them going to be necessarily omens. I think it depends on what you have going on in your life to call them an omen. I just think it's, the energetic field is so sensitive right now. With a lot of things going on in the world itself, in the environment, that the communication levels of things is just going to go that way. Because we only be focused on what we be focused on. Like, we only be, you know, I don't stay focused all the time on all the stars. I have times when I'm cooking dinner, I'm not sitting there and saying, oh, do Aquarius want me to put some black pepper since it's in the moon right now? Should I put black pepper there? No, I don't do all of that. So that's what I'm saying. And I'm not expecting other people to do it. Am I wrong? I don't know. But we'll find out, right? So then we got the Taurus, which is then going to be in the 12th house. That's why it's kind of important for you to understand that transformation, all right? Because by this end of the month, whatever you started with in the beginning, going to be the similar energy, but a little bit different in how it's formatted. For example, I'm going to go through all 12 of the zodiac signs. It's the same energy, a general astrology reading, but the messages can tweak throughout different. And that is the thing that you're really going to have to really pay attention to. Being that Taurus going to still have the same planets. Jupiter still going to be in retrograde. And Uranus going direct. Okay? And Jupiter is still in Gemini. So right there, you're going to move a little bit out of pattern. It might be even some things that pop up from 3 years later that you feel like shouldn't have nothing to do with what happened at the beginning of the year. But check the energy. Check the justice, because Lilith in that 6th house going to really play a role. So that Libra energy going to really count a whole lot. Check out the balance. Check and balance everything very closely. It just depends on you. Now, some of y'all want some good things to happen. And this right here is a test on how you're going to realize this is where the good is. So, Aquarius, I'm going to say, through the month of January, I think your attitude has potential to get in the way of certain decisions. I'm not saying your attitude is a bad thing for getting into the way. Sometimes your attitude might need to get in the way so you'll understand what is coming your way. I'm not the one to tell you about those situations. I'm here to give you a general energy reading to prep you up for them, if you get the opportunity to watch my video. But it can be very beneficial because it's going to bring people that you get to release some negative energy out of you. The closer you get to the full moon, those people would have already came. It's not going to really let you know until the full moon who they was, but you get a chance to let go of some of that negative energy. Now, some things can make us feel guilty. And I say when you get closer back to the end of the month, you need to make sure that you have your body armor on and question whether this is a thing of guilt because it's a human thing, or is this a thing of releasing the negativity to the universe. So make sure you understand that battle. It's not easy at all. Good luck, Aquarius.